Kuzu Nation, Sanbanan Bafitu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, guys, something difficult that we have to talk about. I think it's something that we do need to talk about because, guys, I don't know. I don't know what is happening, to be honest with you. So, there's a player that we are linked with, Paseka Mako. Paseka Mako from Orlando Pirates has just been released by Orlando Pirates, and before jump to the details on why I feel like we should not sign Paseka Mako despite him either being offered or being brought to us, let's just quickly jump to what Kaizer said in terms of your response. The admin, he said this. Kuliseni Kama, at this rate, every player in the league will end up signing because he literally suggesting all of them. We might as well take the whole league. And then also they said something like this. Upelo, what now? Do you want free agents or should we buy top quality players? Do you want players under the age of 30 or are we also supposed to go for so-called reject? Honestly, you guys are confusing. Just tell us, what do you actually want? Well, guys, for me, I didn't allow me to respond to this question, just like they said. Do you want players under the age of 30? Yes, we do want players under the age of 30. Or are we also supposed to go for so-called reject? No, we don't want a reject, to be honest, because there are players that you can clearly see definitely with this player. Even if we can sign him, there's nothing that he's going to give to us. And not to disrespect to Paseka Mako, I do not want to lie, he's a good player, but let's be honest, in terms of what we want from a left back position, it's like we're undermining Bradley Cross, to be honest. If we sign Marco Bafetu, it's like it would be like we're undermining this guy or Bradley Cross. To be honest, we need a player that is going to be above the style of play. So Bradley Cross. Bradley Cross defensively is very good, but another thing that we have to talk about is he doesn't have the capabilities of his speed. It's something that he doesn't have. He does help the team there and here, but it's not what we were looking for. And remember, when we signed Bradley Cross was because we did not have any option. We did not have any option, not a choice. But now we do have a choice corner for us to be able to sign players that we need. Now I'm going to tell you something, guys, that is, I feel like a lot of people do not look at and they think, no, I couldn't have them. For example, we have players who have signed, and on those players I don't think Sikatile and 50 million. And with just this transfer window of it, we are not looking to sign the whole squad of like 10, 11 players. No, not even, at this rate, I don't think we need to sign even more than 5 players. Intercity now, to be honest, we just need one good left back, quality top left back, one quality right back, and then also we need to make sure to sign at least one left winger. And then how many players did I mention now? That's 3 players. And then we can sign at least a striker, proven striker, one quality top proven striker. And then last but not a player over the age of 30, even 30. Actually, we need players 26, 27, at their primes. Those are the kind of players that we need currently, because we're in a building phase. We can't build with players who are over 30, and especially players who are not special. Players like, not to undermine the player, but let's be honest, player like Teshrik Morris, we are not building anything with that kind of a player, because number one, he's dirty. We are due to have injuries because that guy, he is old, to be honest, and he's not even proven to say no he's a player who scored many goals. He has maybe about this goals and that goals. We can't compromise. You understand? So those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Nabi complained with me having strike. I did not get the striker that I wanted. You understand? And then now we get to this situation. We find ourselves Kaizer Chiefs being in advanced talks with the player like Upasa Komako. I don't know what is being hoped to achieve in terms of this player. We even talked about this player from Supersport United, Apiwe Palito. I don't think there's anything that guy is going to give us, to be honest with you. I don't know him. I don't know much about him. But I can tell you that position that we are looking to fill up on the left back position, it's demanding. Very, very demanding. The only player so far, the only best player that we've seen playing that position, the way Sfuna Adlalenga corner, it's only Fawaz Basadin. Not even a player from Mamelodi Sundowns played that position very well. I can't find any other player who plays that position as well as Fawaz Basadin. Let's be honest. Tinagiti, the only thing that we need to do is to make sure we sign at least a quality player, second best to Fawaz Basadin. That would be an option, but not just any players. For the sake of it, no, we have signed the players that we need to sign. At least this is Sainili. We are good to go. No, let's be honest. This is Kaizer Chiefs we're talking about, and I feel like things are not changing, but we are remaining the way we used to be. And another thing, if we can sign if we can sign a quality left back, and then we sign a good right back, we don't need quality on everything, guys. Looking at a centre back pairing here too, I think we can survive because we have a lot of players that we can use there. We have Aiden McCarthy, we have Rashwin Dudley, we have Inaso Miguel. Even Kwinika, I think he has managed to play well on that position. Contract runs up until 2027. So we don't need to add any defenders that higher position. But we can at least find quality left back. I meant to say, good right back. We have Rosler. Solomons does the work sometimes, but at least adding someone who's young, even a development player who can help and assist the team. Must be to know Solomons is not there, or maybe he's injured. Both him and Rosler was currently injured right now. Is a season. We can at least introduce that young player, quality player, that Somtola on the DDC side, and then we introduce that player just to play those few games, so as we do have a good quality backup when it comes to right back position. But us not looking to make sure we sign quality players, we are not going to change. There's nothing that is going to happen. We are not going to compete. Are you guys telling me that we are going to compete with a player like Opaseka Mako that has been released by Orlando Pirates? There's a reason Bam released Lepafito. They saw okay, this player is not going to give us anything. Despite him having the vibes, I like the vibes of Omchita Bafito. I don't want to lie. He has the vibes. He has everything that a player makes interesting. But number one, he doesn't have attack-minded football brains. That is something that we have to consider. Number two, this guy is short. What are we expecting from him? Because it's now you Bradley Cross currently are we expecting 2 times marathon from this guy on that left back position? Come on, guys, let's be honest. This doesn't make sense for me. And then also, here's another thing. In terms of respect, I don't think this guy does respect our club, to be honest. I don't think so, but I don't mind the video. Maybe it was something, but anyways, I feel like it's a lot of disrespect, because even if you are playing against a team, you need to make sure you respect that team. You understand? Because there's a lot that goes into a club. But other than that, Bafetu, I'm sorry. I have to say it. I don't think we need a player like this guy, to be honest. We need to sign quality players, but not everywhere. We need quality players. We just need those few players. It's going to balance. To be honest, we have a player like Umfundo Vilakazi. He's the best winger so far that I've seen. Yes, he has not gotten enough game time, but Umfana Umnandi, and he's someone who is capable of making sure he can take us places. And number two, we have Mtutuzi Shabalala. Mtutuzi Shabalala is a perfect attacking midfielder. Yes, corner moments where you feel like he's not giving us much because, exhaustion, and pressure, that is a lot. That's why we need players like Abafana Nabo Faisal Salum. Faisal Salum I don't think there's anything special more to him than what we have already seen with some of those players that we currently have at that show, and especially when it comes to him to do the Shabalala. But the thing is, he has more experience. We as with, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I deal with the pressure. This is what I need to do. It can be a benefit both to the club and also the young staff to do the Shabalala. You can get some good advices from that player. You understand? So that is something that we need to help the team advance and go through some of the most difficult things. Njengoba nje PSL sazi ukuthi ziyabuya. It's a marathon. But for me, guys, I don't know what to say other than to say ukuthi it's simple. We can't even spend above 50 million. Number one, Fawaz Pasadin. There was a release clause izophela on the 30th of June. Before we travel to Netherlands, we make sure what is sipatala leyo release clause change because after 30 June change. May 1 July, we pay the release clause, we sign the player. He's a South African. We don't compromise any foreign sport. You understand? I understand a lot of people have been concerned about foreign sport, but mina intenga sang worried because I've seen what teams can sign more than the five limit foreign players, and then also some of them they don't play. Baba Isak Malone, this Fanana Lezo. Fiacre Ntwari has proven for me time and time again, which he's not a player who is willing or is going to improve in terms of how he plays is in this Fanana Lezo. So we can't rely on him and say let's just save him. Let's just get him out on a loan. Simbone. The problem is sometimes we sign the players just because we need to fill that position. Kumbula, when we signed Fiacre Ntwari was because we saw that Tumelo Nkune is gone, and replacing him with this guy. I was fond. I was very fond, but it looks like I was wrong, and I admit what I was wrong when it comes to Fiacre Ntwari. I wish he could have given us much more because he's taller. He has everything that you need in a goalkeeper, but unfortunately, whether it's stage fright or but even on his national team, he's no longer performing the same ever since we signed him. So that is something that I'm very disappointed about, but we can try and make sure at least we find the right players so that we can be able to compete. But if we are going to sign players because they are reject players, because they are free agents, we are not going to go anywhere, to be honest. At least there's a player who offered himself to us, Elias Mokwana. He wants to join us. To be honest, that is a blessing in disguise. We can just sign him. I know people complained about also Napolis, but for me, I just had a dream. About 3. I'm like, Paliwela, but done deal. Also Napolis joining Kaizer Chiefs, done deal. How? After Skatesingaga, currently we just signed him. And there's another thing. Also Napolis dipped his form Polokwane City, but look at how he plays when he plays Bafana Bafana. You can see clearly him dipping form that side is intentional. If you feel like he's dipped form even on the national squad, I don't know, but look at how he plays on the national teams. You can see the player does play very well. The only thing is he changed his playing mentality at Polokwane City since they do not want him to leave, because we are born with the more I perform, the more they're going to make sure I don't go anywhere and I want to move. He expressed those feelings with no, I want to go and I want to play for a certain team, which is at this point it's Kaizer Chiefs. That is the team that he wanted to play for. So guys, I don't know, but this is a big mistake. We just need few quality players or second best players that we can sign that are going to help the team, and not us just signing for the sake of what we want to sign. It's very simple. We can't even spend above 50 million on this transfer window alone. Fawaz Pasadin, it's estimated to be around, release clause, it's estimated to be around 12 million. Come on guys, we can't. At least it's much better than Liaga Osinapolis, because Osinapolis, it was estimated to be around 20 million, which didn't make sense. But with Tupasadin, he's a defender. Kumbule is a defender. I'm not expecting us to pay more than 15 million. But yes, we can pay 15 million because there's no other player who can give us what Pasadin is giving us on that left back position so far in Mzansi with PSL. You understand? He's a player. Also, we have Inaso Miguel, we have Force Pasadin. Maybe we're playing with Turashwin Totli, or we're playing with, giving him Simango, some of those other players. And then Sales with Yena, he can go up, push very far, high, and then as thing is, and then they see Funayo, we are struggling with goals. Is this fun analysis? So I don't know, guys. I don't know, but you can let me know what you think. Let me just quickly try and read my comments. I think I've said what I wanted to say, but I don't know whether there's a way that we can, try and fix this problem that I'm currently seeing. Because if we don't fix this problem, I don't think there's anywhere that we're going to go. And we can blame the coach, whatever, what we want, but let's be honest, things are not looking great. It's been 6 days now. The transfer window has opened, but we haven't signed even one quality player. My inquiries that they were making, was it just to make us happy with no manje? We are starting to make sure we look for players before a transfer market evula. Look at the team like Mamelodi Sundowns. They made sure they wanted a player like Ikram Reyners. They saw him with no, this guy is dangerous and he could be very, very, very useful. Bahamba, but release clause, sign. So Tina, if we want to do things the right way, we just have to make sure we can just sign one player almost maybe per season, or 2-3 players per transfer market, but it's not a problem. Rushing is not the way to go, but we can sign those few players. Build. I'm sure we are building. We can build little by little. Okay, manje, we have the best defense. We felt this season was one of the best because we were capable. To be honest, we were capable. The only thing was we could not score goals, so we needed that effective attacking midfielder, because how we are playing, we need the football brains of the attacking midfield to work to score more goals. If Mtutuzi Shabalala had about 10 goals this season, I'm sure he was still going to be regarded as one of the best midfielders this season alone, because he could have scored more goals, but unfortunately he could not get there. That doesn't make him a bad player. He has scored goals that were needed for us to help the team, but we are still short of some of the other goals. So that's where players like Abu Faisal Salum come in to play. You understand? Those are the type of things that we need to fix with the club in order for us to get where we want to be. Samuel, leave our club alone, please. I'm sure you're talking about Tupase Golana. Shiho. Admin is right. Yeah, well, admin right for Kaizer Chiefs. We need to look at things in the right. We can't just be, we can't go back to the way things used to be before. We can't just sign players. We want to sign and fill that position. No, we need to sign because we know that is the player that we need, not because we sign because it's a what. No. But anyways, Tendo, Kaizer Chiefs, okay, no. Shiho again, if we can get 2 top strikers, Salum, and then we are done. Yeah, definitely. Even 1 top striker, because so far I've seen Wandile do, but I know he's capable. He's someone who can give us a lot playing as a striker. The only thing that I can feel it's the fact that we don't have a top goal scoring striker that is going to help Mfana to be able to follow in those footsteps and be lethal and be creative. Abulale, at the end of every chance that he gets. So that is something that we need. We need to help the team, but also we need to help the players that are here, help the youngsters in order for them to become the best players that they can be. You understand? Tendo, Kaizer Chiefs are going to sign Ngomo from SuperSport United. I don't know, Ime Okono. Oh, you're talking about Ime Okono. Well, but I think we will talk more about that. I still don't have enough information about what is going on. And then Kate the Soul, we need a left back, a left winger, a striker, 2+ Salom, who will connect all the dots. That is true. Tina, we don't need a lot of players. It's people, they think Jomba Unabi Akala Gangara, he needs to sign the whole players. No, We just need those few key players that are going to help balance the team. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You understand, guys? QP kunjani kuzoba right kule qembu lethu Sodom Sodomaza zabaningi. Hey, yeah, no, ngiyakuzwa Khoslami. And then agent use Chiefs names to get the players team. That's why everyone link with the Chiefs. Let's wait for Kaizer Chiefs page to announce. Well, in terms of announcement, Kaizer Chiefs, they might not even announce. Bangahamba by Netherlands baphinde babuye banga-announce any player bazo-announce after, so having people like us who get the information earlier, which comes from trusted sources, before, so that we can be able to be assured that okay, something is cooking. But if you do not do that, then you will feel like no, Kaizer Chiefs is not doing anything. You understand? So at least this gives us an idea to understand. Yes, transfer window is open. We will be linked with a lot of players, but let's be honest. Only key players. Those other players, come on. We are not doing anything that is different from what we used to do. You understand? We need to do things differently. No, for a change. Kaizer Chiefs said they want this player and they got that player. Not to which we want this player or we just signed. Vumbo, we just signed a player. Boom, boom, boom. It's a done deal. You understand? That is something that we need to move away from. You understand? Carol, Chiefs always sign players in social media. Well, there's a lot of links. Even now, I just heard Mike Markups saying, he doesn't know where the links of Osipombole and Kaizer Chiefs are coming from because there's no offer that has been made officially in terms of that. So, yes, we are still going to have a lot of players that are going to be linked with Kaizer Chiefs, but that doesn't mean there are not players that we would love to see Kaizer Chiefs sign. And that does not mean there are no players Kaizer Chiefs are looking to sign. They might be looking to sign players, but kungakhulumwa njengalaba sekukhulunywe nabo. You understand? Abo Pasekamako. You understand? Abo who's this guy? Apiwe Balito, that player from Supersport United. They've talked with that player. They've talked with Pasekamako. But why are we talking with such players, not the players that we need? Those are the players that we need. You understand? Doesn't make sense. But anyways, guys, let me just quickly continue. Mr. Med, if the management are busy rebuilding, our team must stop interfering them. Please, Kosi supporters, let's relax. Okay, now that is true, Timothy. I understand. No, Mr. Med, I understand what you are saying. Sorry, I mixed the comments. One said this is a family business and they must take decisions according to what is good for the brand, not what fans say. Well, they might say that, but at the end of the day, our opinion matters also, and it matters a lot because we are the fans. We are the ones who make sure that they have the business that they are currently having. Without us, there's no Kaizer Chiefs. It's just like Mamelodi Sundowns without fans. You understand? There's a Mamelodi Sundowns. They're doing very well, but fewer fans. You understand? So the brand, the team, it's not that big. But just because they have money, they spend a lot in terms of investment and everything. At least that does help, especially with quality players. You understand? Nati, it's something that we need to do. We can't rush. Yes, I understand we might not have enough budget to sign the players that we need, but we can sign fewer players. The team will end up being in a perfect shape. You understand? We don't need to sign everything or everyone all at once. We can just sign slower and slower. And if we can be able to sign players that is those players are not coming from reject, or they're not players that player was signed because he was a free agent, things are going to change. Definitely, starting with the player like Fawaz Pasadin. If we can get Fawaz Pasadin Bafetu, come on, that will show us which definitely things are changing, and they are changing for the better, just like we saw Coach Nazuddin Nabi coming and then we won the Nedbank Cup. You understand? That's when we started to see with Norman isn't ziyashintsha. We did not have too much pressure to fight the management or anything. We were like, no, change is coming, we can see, and we are very patient. So even now, if Kaizer Chiefs, they can use this mindset with Basine, the players that are needed, not the players that are wanted. You understand? We need that player, we sign him. We want that one, yeah, bring him in. No, doesn't make. Let's just sign quality players that are going to help the team. You understand? That is something that we need to do. That's it. And we don't need a lot. Just 5 signings. That's it. Even if we can sign 2 this transfer window, and then January transfer window, we sign another 2 or 3. That's it.